where you have periods in your life where you are on a red light, and you have to learn how to embrace it and stop and think and be present in the moment that you're in. And then you have some yellow lights where it's things are progressing and things are like going, like you're almost there to the green light of the goals and the place where you want to be, or you feel things are coming up, or you can see clear. Welcome back to On a Journey with Giselle. I am your host, Giselle, and I am so glad to have you back on the show. We are here for another episode. Are you excited? Because I am. Thank you for tuning back in. And if you're new to the show, welcome. Here on a Journey with Giselle, we dive into different topics of wellness and fitness to help you become your best self on whatever journey of life that you are on. Because the fact of the matter is, we are all on a journey. And I'm here and I want to just help you as you go through your journey. Today on the show, we are going to be discussing a topic that we kind of discussed already on the show, but I'm taking it a little further from my own perspective. We're talking about transition. We had an opportunity to talk to a few mothers, my own aunt, about transition, about motherhood, and now I kind of want to talk about my perspective of transition and what that has looked like for me in my own life. And maybe some of the things that I share with you from my own journey, you could take and resonate with in your own journey. So thank you again for tuning into the show. If you have not already gotten a chance, subscribe, and share this with a friend that you feel might need to hear this episode as well. So y'all, let's get into the show. We haven't done this in a minute, but I want to start with the 2Gs. What are the 2Gs? This is a segment in the show where I tell you what I am giving myself grace in and what I am grateful for. And today, what I am giving myself grace in, is just it's been ongoing, but just furthering that ongoing of embracing where I'm at and just accepting the season that I'm in, and really taking that gratefulness that I have inside of me and producing a positive outlook and having positive perspective. So I'm giving myself grace and perspective, giving myself grace in the positivity, because sometimes I don't feel like being positive. You're not on a like negative vibe, but just, sometimes, you feel you pour out so much, and it's just like, if you're the type of person like me, in a very humble way, I say this, I pour. I mean, oftentimes I don't find myself, getting poured back into, and I'm refilling my cup with my own energy. So I'm giving myself grace to not really look at the negative in that, but see a positive perspective in that. And I'm still sitting in that, to be honest. I'm grateful for the opportunity just to be alive and share, my own experiences and have an opportunity that somebody didn't get, and living a dream that somebody would want to live. So that is my 2Gs. That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm giving myself grace and what I'm grateful for, y'all. So thank you, y'all. We're talking about transition as we go into this next segment where we talk about what the topic is, transition. I just really want everybody to know that transition is like the stop. The way I gave myself this analogy of, understanding transition. And, I looked at like a stoplight, and it was just like, you have your red light, you have your yellow light, and you have your green light. And a lot of us are trying to get through the green light, but with transition, it's a lot of red and yellow, where you have periods in your life where you are on a red light, and you have to learn how to embrace it and stop and think and be present in the moment that you're in. And then you have some yellow lights where it's things are progressing and things are like going, like you're almost there to the green light of the goals and the place where you want to be, or you feel things are coming up, or you can see clear, but you're not quite there. And then we have in transition the green light, where you've made that transition, where you've moved from that area, you graduated, you moved to a new city, you moved to a new opportunity, you healed, you let go, and those are the green lights in our life when we're fully able to, go from one area or season or time or opportunity and go into the next. But in between, you have your red and your green, and that red and your yellow. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because, with transition, it doesn't give you a warning. Like transition Transition is like something that you prepare for prior. So in your yellow and your red lights, that's where you're preparing. When you're in high school, you're taking classes to meet and get all the credentials so you can graduate. When you're going through a new opportunity, you're going through different phases of life to prepare you for that opportunity. When you're even on the weight loss journey, you're learning how to be consistent in your eating, be consistent in your exercising, and that's learning how your eating habits, that's learning your sleeping habits, that's learning how to do rest days and recovery, that's learning how to, I'll keep going in on fitness, but that's also learning, maybe getting a trainer, and learning how to stay consistent. And even with new opportunities and new titles, that's learning, like being a mom, being in a new position, that's learning how to be you within yourself. And when you're pregnant, you're at a yellow light, right? You're at a yellow light where your baby is being born, and you're developing a new self, right? But you're still you, but you're evolving, right? So that is what transition is about, in an analogy that I formed. That's my own perspective. So, for me, something that I think that I've come to not struggle with anymore is that transition is the understanding that when you're in a transition, it's an adjustment to the current state, and it's filled with many emotions, like many emotions. You have peace, joy, you have confusion, you have anger, you might have emotions of loneliness. And these are all personal to me because for me, relocating back from one state to the next, I formed a community, right? And now I'm back in my home state where I was not the version of myself that I was, and I'm an evolved person. So like really trying to find my community, find like-minded people. I have those moments of loneliness, but then I also have those moments of joy where like I'm free, right? Like I don't feel confused on where I should be anymore. So, adjustment has been different for me. Like when I transitioned, I jumped into an opportunity. I didn't get an opportunity to learn the role, and I had lots of stress, and I felt out of place. I didn't know why I had relocated, back to, my home state. But through that, it was teaching me about myself, that I had resilience. I could do this. I had to learn a new way. I had to put myself out there. I had to learn how to be consistent in my passions, like podcasting, doing fitness stuff, learning my city again, attending farmers markets. So, with transition, you're going to have to, and this is my perspective of what I've learned, in transition you're going to have to learn a new way of doing things. You're going to have to learn how to trust God and give him full control. And essentially that is what's helped me through these last few transitions that I've had. I fully gave up control. I fully was like, this is not about me. This is about you, God, and what you have for me. I know you're going to get me through it. I need your strength. I'm talking to God. God is my best friend. Like I've gotten closer with God, and I've just realized that, God, I can talk to you. And that's what I encourage you to do, is just, ask for his strength, ask for his peace. You don't have to have it all together, and he does not expect you to. So another point that I wanted to bring out is like, when you're in transition, you don't realize what, you're fully in transition. It feels like a moment of like stuckness. It feels like, what's going on? I'm confused. Like sometimes what's going on, right? Like if you're graduating, if you have a new opportunity, if you're relocating, right? But what about the transitions where where you might be outgrowing something or someone, right? Or you have different desires and expectations for things. That's also a transition. So the life that you live, you're responsible for adjusting to it. So like when you're evolving, you're responsible for, adjusting to the newness. So if you're not living a certain type of way, you might not be able to hang out with the same type of people. You might not be able to do the same type of things that you were doing, right? You might have different expectations. You might have different, desires. And see, that's going to be the difference in like that. That's where the like the like stuckness of and confusion might come when you're in your transition. And that's something that you have to embrace those feelings, because it's gonna feel different. It's going to feel different if you're used to doing this all the time, or you're used to being with this person or people, or having these desires, having these expectations. I'm on a journey myself of, getting back into the dating scene, getting back into, putting myself out there. Not just that, but also, you know, healing and figuring out who I am. So, having guards up, not taking steps out to, do different things, and, look like, I'm also on a journey of becoming more feminine, and tapping into that and understanding what that is. And, embracing that, stepping out and doing different things for myself and to myself that I might not have done before, and dealing with people. It's just, having different expectations that I once had to attract different people. So, this transition, I feel sometimes I feel happy, sometimes I feel lonely, sometimes I feel like it's just not gonna be. It's just not gonna be. I don't know what I'm doing. I just might as well stop. But transition is of lots of emotions, and you have to embrace it. You also cannot beat yourself up. You're going to feel these feelings, right? You're going to feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're going to feel like, why do I keep going through this? Like, why am I trying to do this and that? And this is out of my comfort zone. But you have to be okay with that. You have to just keep going through it and be like, okay, I might have messed up. One of my things is learning how to have rhythm. Like, I really want to learn how to have rhythm. But standing around when music is on is not going to help me. Dancing and adding a little groove and getting help from the other people around me is what's going to have me like, okay, G, and so, not go over there like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. No, I got to step out, embrace the feelings that I might not be doing it right. I might look like a off-putting, like I might look off, but I'm gonna step out there. I'm not gonna beat myself up, and I'm having fun, grooving to the moves. So you got to do that. You have to learn how to create happiness in the transitions. Like, whatever it is, that's just a small example, for just dancing, right? But when you're in a situation where you having a lot of emotions, where you want to beat yourself up, reverse that. Have gratitude. Be happy. Have a positive outlook. We talked about that in the top of the show, but have a positive outlook on, like, okay, I'm going through this transition and it's not what I thought it was gonna be, but it is this, right? And maybe that might look like writing things down. Maybe that might look like, having conversations, with somebody that you respect also. And, having appreciation will allow you to view your transition as not so much a hardship, but an opportunity for growth, right? An opportunity for newness, freshness. We're all seeking freshness. Who wants to do the same thing? I know I don't. And if that's you, that's okay. But try something new. Like, stepping out of your comfort zone is really key to, you know, going further on your journey. And I bring this all up because, you know, honestly, y'all, transition for me these past 2 years have been different. I've been in this state as we speak today for 2 years since relocating back. And, I'm different. I'm different. I've, trying to find my community. I don't feel that I have the same community that I had. And I definitely have a great support system. Definitely do. But I know I'm back here trying to find a new community of like-minded people, so that's something that I have been struggling with. The friends that I've had, not in any negative way, but we don't communicate the same way. And that's something that I've struggled with, and I've been like, what is this about? And even with, family, like, it's been different, but realizing that, hey, we're all on our own journey and it's not you. Like, it's not you, and embracing those emotions that, hey, G, you might be feeling this type of way, but it doesn't make you this. It doesn't make you that. And I say that to you, like, don't allow your emotions to beat you up, and don't allow your emotions to tell you what you are, because you aren't. You are better than what you're feeling negatively. You are, as hard as it might be, having a positive perspective on any outlook of transition is going to help you move forward, even if it's as little to some as eating differently. Having a positive outlook on I'm doing this for my health is going to help you do it more consistently and with a better attitude than, oh, I just got to eat this. Oh, if I want to lose this weight, I got to just do the exercise. But when you have a positive outlook and you change that thinking, it's going to allow you to see that you're doing this for yourself. And that's just a small example. And I really just wanted to bring this episode. It's not a long episode. I really just wanted to jump on here because I don't know if it's you, but I have been struggling with transition. You know, and as we get into the last quarter of 2024, I want anybody that might be struggling with transition to realize that you're not alone. I want you to realize that you can do it and that it's going to take you embracing the feelings. It's going to take you, you know, not beating yourself up, talking to somebody, writing your feelings out. But it's also going to take you, you know, showing appreciation to yourself and finding happiness in where you're at now. Remember the green, the yellow, and the red light. You start with the red. You know that you need a change. Then you see that yellow and change is coming, but you don't see it. And then you get that green light. But guess what? You're going to get another red light where another transition is going to come and you're going to have to stop and recollect. That's the moral of transition. Transition is all about recollecting, redefining, and rebecoming. But you are going to get to that green light. So I hope that this episode has gave you a new perspective on transition. And as you go into the second half of 2024, I wish you the best. I wish you encouragement, joy, peace, love. I hope that whatever you're setting your mind on, whatever you did not accomplish at the top of the year, that you do accomplish because you can do it. It does take you. And as I always say, only you can define your destiny. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop a comment. You can DM me on Instagram at On a Journey with G. The link is going to be in the bio and also at the end of this episode. Make sure to subscribe. And if you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend, regardless of not if you have or not. Still share it with a friend and comment below what you want to see different on the show. I'm up for the ideas because I want to become my best self. I want us to continue this journey and you are my people. So y'all, we're in this together. And remember though, at the end of the day, only you define your destiny. And until next time, peace, love, and happiness.